Hello and welcome to the GameShop MythCast, episode number 31. I am your host, the vocal terrorist, Jesse Rain. We're here today with a TVZ featuring two Mythology GameShop members. Introducing first, in the bottom right hand corner of Akalon Waste, wearing the Tasia colours, he is Nathan. And his opponent is the newest member of the Mythology GameShop team. Here is the Green Zerg. I can announce to you, his name is SpazymazyGS. So we got ourselves a ZVT. Ignore the little lovely little name up here. There's his former clan tag still on there. This is prior to the name change that came about from Blizzard. So he is now part of the Mythology team. He's our newest player. He's not someone I've had much chance to speak to recently. I've been very busy, and by busy I mean just consistently ill. And that's becoming a bit of a problem for me. But my personal health problems aside, it's really exciting to have a new member of the team, to have a replacement for Viper, although of course he is a Zerg rather than a Protoss. And it's going to be good for me to see just how well he can do. So there's no one better, essentially, to put him up against than Nathan. Nathan is one of our best all-rounders. Very, very good against every race. He's a very solid hand, perfectly capable of taking games off of absolutely anyone else on the team, including J-Power. So we'll really get a sense of where Spacey is up to in terms of his skill level within the team throughout this game. Not necessarily just on a win or lose, but just in how he responds. So the first Reaper's coming out for Nathan. This is not a surprise to anyone that knows Nathan and knows his love of these Reapers. Also not a surprise to anyone that saw this gas going down, because lol Reapers. Meanwhile, his opponent Spacey is getting that spawn and pull up, and the hatchery is going down. What day are we on today? We are on Wednesday, so long time till the next Myth TV broadcast. I hope everyone enjoyed last night. I hear it was a lot of fun. Sad that I couldn't be there. Next week, I can inform you, there will not be a Tuesday broadcast. The broadcast has been pushed back to Wednesday because once again I'm working on Tuesday and I really want to do it. So not entirely sure what that will be. We're going to try and organise a really cool clan war and see if we can get some casting up for that. Failing that, we'll put on some kind of good show for you all. But we just wanted me to be involved with it again because it's been so long. So that's why it will be pushed back just by a day. We also have the GameShop Open coming up on the 9th of August, which is going to be sick. One drone does fall! Unable to save itself as an extractor right there. And more going to go down. That needs to be extractor saved, but well, he's going to run out of extractors. Oh, Spore Crawler's it! Okay, both of those should be cancelled now. And the Reaper is now just checking out this third base. So nice harassment so far by Nathan. Right now just two Reapers, which I don't think will be able to actually kill down a Queen. But they may be able to be frustrating again still. Yeah, as we can see, they're not going to focus on trying to take the Queen now, just trying to get drones. And both Reapers do once again escape. The Lings there just to try and stop that from going in. And the Reapers escape. Meanwhile, Nathan's base is continuing apace. His factory is over halfway done, his expansion is down. That will soon morph to an orbital command, and his starport will be on the way as soon as that factory finishes up for his traditional push against Zergs of Widowmine and a bunch of Marines, I would imagine. But we'll have to see. So here goes the switch, and we will see two Widowmines come out of there. And we should be seeing a starport go down in this main base very shortly. Where are you doing this? Okay. Wow. I'm going to be honest, that was unexpected. Nathan really switching things up lately. Hopefully, perhaps heeding my advice that he's become too predictable as a player, and now just trying to see what else he can do, and this could work out well for him. In these early Hellion builds do quite well against Zergs lately, especially in the UK Pro League, where it was performed, I believe, by Robbie G up against Orc. Went mass Hellion, and then later on continued to use them into the Hell Bats. So that was a really, really fantastic build from him. And obviously, whenever you beat Dignitas Orc so handily in a series. People are going to start watching you, and they're going to start copying your play. Not saying that's what Nathan's done, but if he did, it's definitely a wise choice. I have to see where else he goes from this. He's continuing to produce these Hellions, so we'll have 2 more coming out. Still no starport, though, which is strange. It does surprise me, given the propensity of Nathan to follow on with this drop play, and with his opponent on 3 bases, he's going to be eminently droppable. And it surprises me to see Nathan not taking advantage of that. Finally, starport's going down, but later than I would have expected. The Hellions have been revealed. In doing so, roasting many Zergling. And now they're going to be pushing out across the map. See if they can maybe remove some of this creep spread out the front. Right now, there's only the 1 queen. But here they are. They're actually going to get to roast a few of these Zerglings, which is great for them. But right now, it's really more just stopping this expanding creep spread. If they can sit on the edge of it and force the queens away, then eventually this creep spread will be halted for a while, which will give Nathan an advantage as we move on towards the mid-game. Baneling Nest is on the way for SpazyMazy, as is the lair. It's currently just finished, and 1-1 also on the way for his Ling. Speed is finished, but these Hellions are going to have to be a little bit careful now in how they engage, especially on or around creep. So Nathan going to pull him back. Now with the Hellbats, he can definitely go into this drop style. As we can see, the first medevac almost done as we speak. Man, Hellbats being a reactor still seems crazy to me. So it looks to me like it's split push time, except it's not.
Coming through.
Still only the 1 medevac here. I really would like a second one. I'd actually rather have had him build the reactor and then 2 medevacs rather than medevac and reactor, because what you want to do with this push is do this kind of split push thing, where you push one way with a group and then drop into the main or into the natural. And with that coming up, he's actually going to get these Hellions surrounded. Wow, that was close. And the Hellbats do come to save. We've got a lot of Marauders in here as well. I would assume just to help deal with the Queens and potentially any Banelings that do come out. We do have 20 Banelings on the way. So right now, Nathan not doing the split push style, just doing 1 big push with 1 medevac support, and he's actually going to roast a lot here. These drones are all lining up. Oh my word, the devastation occurred there. 24 drones killed throughout this entire game, so that's about 20 there, but so many Banelings coming in. Holy crap. Well guys, 20 Banelings, really good. Nathan losing his entire army there, but he did roast a ton of drones, so I think he's going to be too upset about this. So long as he can hold this wall, he should still be in a good position, because he's knocked the drone count down to 45. It's incredible. The counter push is here now, but way too much there. Spacey is going to have to retreat home and try and come up with something to deal with this. The reactor's finished, double medevac on the way, more barracks going down along with the command center and double E base. So it does look like Nathan pushing into this bio style. Now, he wants to take this 3rd base, but there is 1 Zergling looking for it, so the Zergling will be aware by now, or should be aware if he's listening, that the audio has got what? Interesting GG there. Somehow I don't think that was... What? Well, sometimes, you know, we have foreign players, and I don't understand them. I don't know Spacey enough to know what that was a reference to. I'm sure it was a reference to something. But at this point, I simply do not know our newest player that well. I will hopefully get to know him later on when I actually have some time to pop into our TeamSpeak chat and get a feel for his personality. But right now, he seems like he's fitting in very, very well. I've not heard a bad word about him, which is always good. More Banelings coming out. Infesta's actually done. And Hive is now on the way. So, with a 4th base, this is interesting. This is a style we haven't seen in a while. This kind of Infesta Baneling mix. Where you want to hit with Fungals and then roll your Banelings into the army. It's an interesting one, and if you can pull it off, then it will be effective, but it's much, much harder to pull off than it once was, thanks to that Infesta's Fungal now being a projectile. Spacey right now very low in supply compared to Nathan, and 1 Fungal goes down entirely on Marauders, 2nd on a group of Hellbats. Those Marauders are gone, but it's costing a lot of Banelings. However, it It does look like he's crushed through a lot of this army. Now he needs reinforcements. He's got rid of a lot of the AoE from this, a lot of the danger, but he needs to be able to shut this down. He's going to start to lose infestors here. More banelings morphing. And Nathan, I think, deciding whether or not to push in. He does stim, so looks like he's going for this base, but we do have more banelings here. Can Spacey engage properly? Or will he find himself shut down? We don't have enough for more fungals yet. He's trying to wait until he's got that. The banelings coming in, and banelings from behind, in fact. A great flank Nathan needs to pick up here, and he does save just a handful of marines. Meanwhile, back at home, Nathan is continuing to expand, so still playing this particularly well. Was not rallying reinforcements across the map, but that push was designed to be a standalone push, not a huge committal. And Nathan just continuing to keep that supply count up. Look at this, throwing down even more barracks. Will likely throw many, many reactors down, just so that he can continue this Marine Marauder production. Wouldn't mind seeing him throw a couple of ghosts in there if he ended up with some spare minerals. You know, to throw a Ghost Academy down, just to EMP a couple of those infestors. But overall, it's going to be more important for him to start to deal with these ultras when they come out. He's doing a good job of trying to clear up this creep, trying to stop it from expanding too much, but Spacey is expanding down both sides with that creep, so doing very, very well in terms of his creep spread. Now, that is one great fungal, and now the banelings are going to roll in and clear up this bio. Good split by Nathan with what he can split, means he does still have an army left here, and this has been Spacey's problem all game long. He just doesn't have the supply to make this happen. Nathan is managing to stay ahead of him in terms of supply. Another good fungal. He manages to hit those perfectly. Really do like that. And now he should clear this up with the next few banelings. Just thanks to those great fungals. Here come the banelings. Going to start to clear this up. Nice split so far. They're chasing the Marines rather than the Marauders. So they are going down, but finally the bio is cleared up. There's only 3 Marauders there now. But again, Nathan not reinforcing this. This is just to push Spacey back. This is just to stop Spacey expanding, to see what damage he can do while he builds up yet another army. And SpazyMazy is at 127 supply to 176. If we look at the upgrades though, for Nathan right now it's 1-1. His opponent is on 2-1. So a slight advantage here to the brand new Mythology player. As well as that, another hatchery is going down over on the left hand side. More creep being cleared up here by Nathan, and this base is preemptively cancelled because he saw Nathan moving up here with that Zelnaga Watchtower. So very, very well done here by Spacey. But Nathan really being the active player right now. Landing yet another base, so finally moving up to 4 bases, matching that of his Zerg opponent as the Zerg is looking for the 5th. A few speedlings here, but not enough to do anything, and there just isn't the force of banelings now. Good fungals again, but the pre-split's already happened. Now he sees the ultras. Now he knows this is what he has to contend with. He's got a lot of marauders here, but I don't know if it's enough marauders just yet. But he is going to start to get killed on these ultras, and as the banelings roll in, he's going to have to get out of there. But needs to be careful. None of these infestors have fungals yet. But once they get one, these medevacs are all very clumped up. He's going to have to get out of there. Meanwhile, back at home, more and more marauders on the way, as we can see 4 marauders at a time. We do have that vehicle weapons level 3 on the way, but it's going to help a lot less nowadays. Oh my god, the supply depots are down. The banelings are rolling in. Nathan trying to respond, but they are going to get to this mineral line. There's nowhere to stop them. And we are going to see a clump of SCVs die. Boom! Nowhere near enough for Spacey though. I only managed to kill 5 of that and threw out a lot of banelings at that front. Perhaps it may have been better to just explode them on the wall and take that down instead. Nathan still had a good worker supply, especially with this planetary fortress here, and the amount of mules he can drop. Meanwhile, SpazyMazy is moving up to this base, looking to expand over on the right hand side of the map now, considering the left hand side was cut off, but these infestors are all going down, not being able to drop fungals. Here come the banelings. There's a lot of banelings going down, but there's a great deal of marauders here to deal with these ultras. Don't know if it's going to be enough, but it looks like Spacey is going to get pushed back here. Don't know if that was the correct engagement for him, but he felt like he needed to defend this creep, and now these marauders are going to push across the map and start to take down this army of SpazyMazy. Oh, an attempt at a fungal there. They will get one, but only one, and another infestor dies. Spacey unable to keep these infestors alive. They're dropping 1 fungal each, which is not the cost-effective way to be. And meanwhile, Nathan forcing yet another cancel, and Spacey is going to be in some trouble now in terms of economy in the near future. I'm just going to take a quick look at his bases. Of course, the main base is completely mined out. The natural is very much on the way to that. His third is still decent, and his fourth is also still decent. So at this point, he's doing quite a good job of keeping that economy up, but at the end, he's going to need a fifth base, and he's going to need it sometime, I would say within the next 5 minutes, because he wants to keep up that 3 base production. Nice attempt at a speeding run by here. Does force a cancel on one of the command centers, but only that. And doesn't get much else done. Nathan still with the supply lead, doing very, very well in terms of his bio here. They are at 2-2. +3 attack is on the way, as is all the useful Ultra upgrades, because that's essentially what Spacey's going for here. He's going for that sick Ultra army. Fully upgraded, but that's a lot of Marauders here. I think he needs to set up for a switch. Not right now, but for some time in the near future. He's not going to be able to stay on Ultras forever, because Nathan will eventually start to hit those upgrades and get so many Marauders that they just get taken down. I think the important thing for Spacey to do is to stay alive, keep using these Ultras against the Marauders, trying to take as many of them down as possible to delay Nathan, and then do this. Yeah, okay, Spire on the way somewhere. And with that Spire on the way, we will see eventually a transition into Broodlords. The question is, will it come quickly enough? These Ultras are going to get taken down here. This is a large force of Marauders, and there's not enough back at home right now to deal with it. Good Infestor Fungals coming out, though, and that is going to be a great help, allowing the Ultras to get in, engage without that Marauder start a step back. And it looks like the bio of Nathan is going to fall here. With that move, Nathan finally drops in supply below that of his opponent for the very first time since the beginning of this game. So good play now by SpazymazyGS. Now, if you'll excusez-moi, I must have a drink. Solo casting is hard, especially after a weekend of dual casting with the wonderful Tetra of Team Animate. So these Ultras are now going to come in here, but moving into this choke point is not the best of ideas. The Ultra's not able to engage properly, and well, Spacey is going to be forced back here, losing a lot of his tech there. And now the Marauders will actually chase it with no fungals to stop them. Once again, losing Infestors. Nathan, however, does not want to chase him back onto creep, doesn't want to get caught there. Has landed a command center there, turning that into a planetary. This has been morphed into an orbital command, just for the extra mules. Kind of like this one creep tumor here. It was just not killed earlier. Just spreading creep all by itself, being all lonely. Now the Ultras have moved up to here, so this is an interesting position. They can actually flank this army with enough of his opponent, and here it comes actually. It's only 4 Ultras there though, so with good starter step, these will get taken down. Right now they're doing a lot of damage though. With those 3-5 upgrades, still looking very, very good. Nathan really needs to get these upgrades finished. Spore Crawler is going to be annoying. Oh, what a fungal! Catching all of those medevacs. Can he chain fungal them? No, he cannot. He does not have enough. Holy crap, that could have been bad though. And right now Nathan's just having to get out of here, but the thing is, he's actually could well force a cancel over here again, just because of the path it's taking him out. Well, he's not even going to force a cancel because the base is finished, but this base will die. There is no way this is responding in time. Goodbye, hatchery. The Ultras are now here, but it's way too late for them to do anything. So here come the Ultras. There's a nice little fungal there, but mostly catching medevacs here. And, well, there's a lot of medevacs anyway. Nathan's actually at 198 supply. He's moving this army out to meet with him. And again, it's a heavy bio army. Mainly Marauders, but with some marine support just in case of any air that may come out. And once again, with the fungals gone, having a tough time engaging. Oh, and a missed fungal there. Only catches 1 Marauder. That's not going to be enough. He does have more fungals available, however. And now this army is very heavily reinforced. Already with a pre-split, so these fungals are not hitting where they should be. And once again, this is going to be a problem for Spacey as he does start to lose a lot of Ultras here. Nathan's supply is dropping faster than Spacey's, however. So, looks like more of a problem for the bio of Nathan. This is very, very close. Actually, an incredibly back and forth game with good tech choices by both players. Now, do we have the Greater Spire up and finished yet, or is it still just a Spire? I'm not sure where that was actually built earlier. I'd have expected in the main. This base is once again forced to leave. Basically just not able to deal with that properly. I am certain he was building a spire. Am I blind? Because he was definitely building a spire. Is it over at this third? Well, I don't actually see the spire, so it's quite possible that was cancelled earlier. And, well, we're going to see a hatchery go down here, but not for long, because Nathan wants this base. And with this army, Nathan's going to get this base if he decides to move down there and take it out. Now, he needs to be careful here. He is engaging on creep, and these feelings will do a lot, especially once the fungals come in on these marauders. Here we go. Now at the edge of creep, that's a really nice fungal. The Baneling's doing a lot of damage here. The Ultra's moving in to clear up behind it. Nathan now in a little bit of trouble with supplies once again even. But once again, Nathan has pulled back to this choke point and Spacey cannot engage into there. His Ultras simply cannot get the damage done. Which is why I was looking for that tech switch into Broodlords, especially with so many Marauders out. Or even a mix of the two, you know. Keep the Ultras you have alive and then just start to adorn them with a few Broodlords. Yeah, okay, the Spire is now going down, so I feel like it was either killed or cancelled earlier. He's going to have to redo that, and that's going to take some time to get this transition underway. This hatchery is going to die, but the Ultras and Speedlings are moving in behind it. Oh wow, doesn't even get the hatchery, choosing to try and fight this army instead. He is going to get a few Ultra kills, but it's not going to be enough. Or is it? We do have more reinforcements coming down, and yes! Nathan once again chased back from here, unable to kill this hatchery just yet. That said, we have this constant stream of production coming out from Nathan, almost like a Zerg, but it is starting to falter a little bit now. His supply is 155 to Spacey's 181. It's much, much less than it was earlier in this game. Meanwhile, we've got Spacey continuing to mass this army. Spire's almost done, but it's still going to be a long time before it becomes a greater Spire, and then you're starting to look at upgrades, which is still going to take even more time, because you do want those flyer upgrades if you can afford them. Simply because it helps keep your Broodlords alive, and it will actually make them do more damage. The flyer attacks does actually deal with that initial Broodlord hit. So here, once again, comes another engagement, again on creep, and Nathan cannot fight this army on creep. Not at this point, not in this manner. So again, he's going to go for the lift up. And I'd like to see more of this kind of thing from Nathan. Trying to pull his opponent apart, splitting his army up, because he has the army to do that. And really just trying to be the more mobile player. Almost treat these Ultras like they're mech. This hatchery did fall, however. It's going to be remade. The Marauders are not able to do it, but this hatchery is also taken down. So again, Spacey's still limited in terms of his hatcheries, but his economy's still incredibly strong at this point. If you take a look at his income, he's still up there around the 1500 mineral mark, which is where you expect to be. Greater Spire is on the way. Spacey's moving about the map, trying to respond to two separate armies at once, because we've got one up here, and we've got this army down here, which will take out this base. It's going to be a force cancel here, and in fact may even kill it, which is a nice move from him. So the army trying to engage with this up at the upper right-hand corner, but now we've got this force, unsupported by medevacs, it should be pointed out, moving towards this base, so he has to respond. And the thing is, with responding to this, well, the hatchery's still going to die, and we got a drop, heading for the main. Now, with no medevacs here, this bio army will be taken down. They cannot flee, but look at this. Dropping this army up into the main. Decent fungal there, but it's not going to be enough, which means he's starting to lose just a little bit more tech before he can respond. Losing hatcheries is never good. That is your production. He will actually lose all three of these Ultras because there's nothing there to protect them. Oh, wow. Actually, those Ultras are strong, man. Ultras are OP as shit. Loving it, because I mean these Marines and Marauders are on 3-3, and I expected, quite honestly, these Marauders to be doing a lot better, but that's a lot of Ultras, man! How many Ultras do you need? Orbital Command Force, if this command center cannot land, because once again Spacey is taking that base. Spacey now moving up, going to put the aggression onto his opponent. And Nathan's Planetary Fortress will start to deal some damage, but it's not going to be enough, and no way is it going to be quickly enough. All of these SCVs are dead, as will the Planetary Fortress be very shortly. Look at that. Being dismantled in record time. Now the Ultras are going to start to take some damage, but at this point, they are going to start to get away. He's going to have to support them somehow. The Infestors are on the way, but they're very, very slow. A decent stim could have done a lot of damage here, but now they can engage because the Infestors are here, and all of this bio is clumped up. Oh, what a wonderful fungal that was. The Ultras just tearing that bio apart. more fungals going down on Nathan's army, but Spacey is dropping in supply, so he is going to need to get that back up and get it back up quickly because he has to take this army down. Here come the Broodlords that we called earlier, and there's too many Marauders here. There's simply not enough Marines to start to take these Broodlords down quickly enough. We see all the Marines gone, and now Nathan needs to respond to this. There are no starports, no Vikings out for him. We only just have the one, which is still making medevacs to support his bio army. And he can't even commit to trying to get a bunch of starports and Vikings out, because if he does, basically just goes back into the Infesta Ultra mix. So right now, although Nathan does have the higher supply, Nathan is taking down this base over here, I would say that Spacey is in control of this match thanks to that tech switch. We are going to start to see a few Vikings come out, but it's going to be a while before they're effective. Now the one thing for Nathan is, because of the Hellbats earlier on, he does have already the... Oh, actually, the vehicle and ship attacks are still separate. It's only the armor that's the same, isn't it? So, yeah, they will not even be upgraded in terms of attacks, and that's going to be a real problem for Nathan. Because it will not take the Broodlords down particularly quickly. We're having another large engagement over here. A lot of Ultras are dying. The Bio coming into reinforce from behind will catch these Infestars, and everything else Spacey's here will die. But in the meantime, Spacey is using these Broodlords to harass these bases, taking down planetary fortresses unattacked. So yeah, as we can see, they do have the armor, but they don't have the weapons. It's the weapons they really want. His opponent's Broodlords are, of course, 0-0, but, well, there's only 2 Vikings. Right now, these Marines being able to get under them, but the Marines, once again, they just die so quickly. And, Spacey throwing down the GG, unable to create more of an army. His income simply too low. All his hatcheries, at least his mining hatcheries, dead. Unable to keep going. Did everything he could, but Nathan manages to be triumphant. I'd like to say a big thank you to SpazyMazy for sending me this replay. It's very enjoyable. It looks to me like he's going to be one of our formidable players in the future. Of course, if you want to see more of us, visit www.clan-myth.com or twitch.tv/MythOdin. This has been the GameShop MythCast. I've been your host, Jesse Voctor Rain, and I'll see you all again tomorrow, assuming I can wake up in the